Hi guys, it's Julie Weber and welcome back to another video. So for today's video, we have something very exciting, at least exciting for me because it's very nostalgic and it's a favorite things video. So I used to watch these favorite things videos all the time growing up. I loved them so much. Specifically Zoe or Zoella, she would make them a lot. And I actually just watched one to kind of remind myself what they were like. So I thought I would bring it back for one of my videos. I'm not going to be doing them monthly like many creators did back in the day. I just don't think I have enough things that I can speak about every month, but I'm gonna do a favorite things 2024 edition. Now I will go ahead and just say that a lot of these things are favorite things from my wedding registry because I got married this year, or favorite things I got for Christmas, or favorite things for my wedding. So they kind of have themes to go with them, but a few of them are just kind of random too, and I just want to throw them in there. But yeah, that's the gist, and I want to show you a few of the things I've been loving this year, or this past year in 2024, and hopefully this will help you get to know things that I like and a little bit more about me. First thing, like I mentioned, is my wedding. That has to be one of my favorite things in 2024, of course. I absolutely loved my wedding, and I might want to make a separate video about planning a wedding and all that goes into it, especially planning a wedding on a budget and trying to be a bit more creative, and I had to do some things on my own, so I might make a whole video about that. But I do have a few honorable mentions for my wedding that I want to mention. The first one is, of course, my husband. You know, I gained a husband in 2024, so I don't think I claim him as a thing, but he definitely is one of the favorite things that came out of 2024, being my husband. You know, I've known him longer than 2024, but I have to mention him. He is my rock. I love him. I'm excited to be doing life with him. A few other honorable mentions from my wedding would be my flowers. So I absolutely loved my flowers on my wedding day. They were everything I could have ever imagined and more. I actually had a family friend do them. She had been helping a florist for weddings, but she had not done weddings herself except for a few here and there just to help out friends, and she so kindly offered to do them for my wedding. Because of that, I was like, you know what, I don't really think I need anything too crazy. I just kind of gave some ideas, and I was like, don't worry if you can't make that happen. I know it's just you doing this. So I had very low expectations, not because I didn't think she could do amazing things, but because I knew that she was doing this as a kind gesture to me. Man, where my expectations exceeded. I loved my florals. Honestly, my florals tied everything together on my wedding day. The flowers helped bring things together when I felt like some things were falling apart, because like I said, some parts of this were a little bit DIY, so they didn't pan out perfectly, but that's okay. But the flowers, oh my gosh, they seriously brought me so much joy and peace and love that day. I don't know if that's normal for me to say that about flowers, but I really did love them. I loved the blues and the pastels that she went with. I really feel like it tied my themes together. I didn't necessarily have a theme for my wedding, but I knew I wanted kind of spring, pastel, blues, pinks, colorful but muted tones, and I think she really brought that to life. I loved my chandelier of tulips, and I don't remember the name of the other flower that she used. It's a cheaper flower that's used often for weddings. Couldn't tell you the name of it, but I'll put a picture of that here. I loved the chandelier, and then I also loved, she did this little display of flowers. Behind where we got married, she had a display of flowers, and then when we moved to the reception, she moved that display of flowers and put it on the cake table. So I have a picture of that also that I'm gonna put up here, and I loved the way that that turned out. You know, it looked very organic and beautiful, and yeah, I really didn't expect that. I just kind of said, do whatever you want to make the space look pretty. So she went above and beyond for that as well. And of course, I have to mention my bouquet. I loved my bouquet. I got it preserved, but I don't have it with me because we're actually house sitting. That's also why we have this different background you probably will never see again. I don't have it with me, but I got my bouquet preserved because of how much I liked it. And here's a picture of my bouquet. Y'all can get an idea of what it looked like. Second favorite thing for my wedding would definitely be my dress. I absolutely loved my dress. My dress was one of those things I tried to save money on because dresses can get very expensive, and it's a dress you wear once in your life, and of course you want it to feel special and you want to feel pretty. At the same time, I didn't want to go too crazy, and I also knew I wanted a dress that looked simple, so I kept my dress very simple, classy, timeless, I at least hoped. I wish there was another occasion in my life that I needed to wear that dress. Of course there's not, but me and Sam might actually do 1 year pictures, and I might put the dress back on, he might put a tux back on, and we'll take pictures just to get another wear out of it because I just loved it so much. But here's a picture of my dress. Particularly, I loved the back of my dress. It had a really low back and a big bow, and then the front of my dress kind of looked more simple, deep cut here, and then an A-line cut overall. I think it was really flattering to my figure, and I loved it. My veil also kind of went budget-ish on that. It wasn't a super long, big veil. It was a two-tiered veil. If I can find a picture of that, I'll throw it up here. And it was a shorter veil because I didn't want to wash out or blind my back, because I feel like the back of my dress was where it was at for me. So I didn't want anything to look too crazy. I also wanted to feel kind of free and able to move around. I didn't want to feel too stuck or too stiff or just not free to move. My venue also was more of an outdoorsy venue. I had to fit the part for my outdoorsy venue, if that makes sense. Like I couldn't come in with a big cathedral veil and a big puffy dress that was really hard to move in, because our reception was outside in this pergola slash like pavilion thing. It looked beautiful, but it was not like this indoor super fancy place. So I had to fit the part, and I feel like my dress and my veil really did that really well. So loved my dress. And then the third and the last thing I'm going to mention about my wedding was the photos. So obviously you've seen a few of the photos that I've showed with the florals and with my dress, but I'm going to show just a few other photos that I just absolutely loved for my wedding. And I loved my photographer so much. She did such a great job. Honestly, towards the end of the day, she ended up kind of acting a little bit as my day of coordinator. Wasn't really the intention, but she really helped when things somewhat went astray. She had such a good personality for wedding photography. She did so well. She commanded the room, and I felt really safe and comforted knowing she was going to get things done, and she was going to get them done the way that I envisioned them. So I loved her. I would highly recommend her. She is Birmingham based, and her name is Madison Grace Photography. She actually just got engaged herself, and so she's balancing both the getting engaged and planning her own wedding and also still doing photography for other people's weddings. So if you are in Birmingham or around the area, definitely check her out because I highly recommend her. She was amazing. I think that she did a great job. So that's my wedding honorable mentions for 2024 favorite things wedding wise. All right, so my next favorite thing from 2024, he's been in both of my videos now. He has to be in the third one. He won't be in all my videos, I promise, but I can't not mention him in my favorite things 2024 because he is absolutely one of my favorite things that came out of 2024. You've met him in my first video, so if you didn't see that, go check out my first video, kind of explain the meaning of his name. But just a quick recap, this is Albus. He's a very wiggly guy. He really does not like to be held much. He's a very sweet cat, but he'd rather be pet and lay where he wants to lay rather than be held. I do want to show y'all his little cute face. Can you look in the camera? Hi! So this is Albus. He has the most blue eyes. He is beautiful. He is a seal point ragdoll, and we got him in September of 2024. And he was born, which was kind of cool. He was born in June of 2024, which is when me and your dad got married. So he is just about the same age as me and Sam's marriage, which I think is really cool. He doesn't look happy. He's fine. He kind of always has that face. Like I said, he's a seal point ragdoll, which means he has this seal color, this dark brown color. I'm gonna let him go because he wants to be let down. So he has the dark brown color on all of his points. So that means his ears, his nose, and his face, and then his tail. And then he has dark color around his wrists, but not his paws, but like above his paws. So that's who he is. He is 6 months old. He is the best little kitty ever, and I love him so much. He is the sweetest thing ever. We take him to the vet, and the vets just always talk about how he has the best temperament, and he really does. Although he doesn't like to be held, he is so go with the flow. We take him, honestly, pretty much anywhere we go if we can. We take him to Sam's parents' house with us. We take him to drive-thrus. We take him to house sit with us. Like, the owners were so chill with that. So he is honestly so go with the flow. He doesn't get angry or bite or anything like that. He is not necessarily a lap cat, which is what ragdolls are kind of marketed as, but he is playful and he is cuddly when he wants to be, and he loves to be around us, which is great. So he really is such a fun addition to our family and genuinely one of my favorite things. You know, I have to put the wedding above, but he is definitely a very close. I don't even know if I can rank them because I love him so much, and he has brought me and Sam so much joy. So that is Albus, our ragdoll kitten. definitely had to make the list. All right, so now I'm gonna go kind of into some more random bits and things here and there. So I mentioned this one in my last video about how I've been loving the Dyson. So the Dyson was a Christmas gift, and I have used a lot of tools to curl my hair in the past, and my hair is really fine and doesn't hold a curl very well. So it falls super fast, and the Dyson's the only thing I've been able to find that has curled my hair well. So honestly, I've probably spent more money on these cheaper products like a curling iron and the Revlon blowout brush and what else? The heated thermic brushes. I've spent so much money on all those different things, and none of them have worked for me. And finally, I caved, or really my husband caved for me, and he knows how much I've been talking about this, and he bought me one for Christmas. And I didn't put it on my Christmas list. I didn't ask for it. He just knew that it's something I've been talking about for a long time, and it was very sweet and surprised me with it for Christmas. I truly didn't expect it, and I love it so much. My hair really does hold the curl. I wish my hair was curled today so that I could show you a little bit better, but my last video, my Get Ready With Me, I'll link that as well, I do have the curls from the Dyson in at that point, and you can tell that they're still holding even after I slept on them the night before. So I really do love the Dyson. It is one of my favorites of 2024. Now, it was the very end of 2024, so I don't know if it really counts, but I had to throw it out there. This is not something that's new. Obviously, a lot of people have the Dyson, but it's something that I really wanted to take time in considering buying one because they are so expensive. I had tested them out a few times with my sister-in-law's Dyson, and I really did like the way that it turned out. So I kind of had in the back of my mind that one day I wanted to save up and get myself the Dyson, which luckily or thankfully my husband did, and I am very grateful for that, and I do really think I'll get a lot of use out of it. So next up we have the Oura Ring. So two kind of more talked about products is the Oura Ring and the Dyson. So these are things that I think have kind of, gained a lot of popularity in the past few years. The Oura Ring particularly has really helped me track my sleep and track my cycle. That's really the only reason I bought the Oura Ring in the first place, was for those two reasons. Many people ask me if I would recommend the Oura Ring, and it kind of depends on what you're using it for. I don't get all of the functions out of the Oura Ring. I'm not doing all the savvy things with the stress and the readiness and yada yada yada. I honestly don't know all the functions of the Oura Ring. I could know more, but I love the sleep section and I love the cycle section. Really, particularly, I love the cycle, tracking your cycle, because I have really bad periods and I struggle so much with it, and I don't think I should struggle silently, and I think many people could relate, but I struggle so much with my period and the pains that come with it. The ring has absolutely changed my relationship with my period. I went from having so much anxiety every single month the week before my period would come, because I knew that I would be in so much pain the day that it came. I would get really bad cramps to the point that I might throw up or pass out or, can't get out of bed. And that's not always ideal when you have a full-time job, or you have a class to get to, or you have a function to get to, or you have just life. Like, you can't just be curled up in the bed once a month, every month. It gave me so much anxiety. And now with the Oura Ring, I'm able to track it a little better so I can know when it's going to come. It has tracked better than any other thing I've used. Because it's tracking my temperature, it better can predict when my period is coming. And so I can preemptively take Tylenol or preemptively take Advil to help void off the intensity of the cramps the day of my period. And that is what really helps. When I can stay on top of the pain, like catch it maybe the day before, that's when I find that my period cramps are the most manageable, and it allows me to continue on working a full-time job, doing the chores I need to do, getting to the things I need to get to. So I highly recommend it if that is something you struggle with. Now, for the other functions, I don't use that much. So when people ask me, oh, should I get it? I kind of tell them that spiel a little bit. Well, I use it for cycle tracking and sleep. If you're not interested in that, then I can't really speak on it more than that. So if you're interested in learning more about your period, when you're ovulating, when you're about to start, when you're in your luteal phase, definitely check out the Oura Ring. I did have to pay for a subscription with the Natural Cycles app, And so that was a little bit of an extra cost, and it wasn't covered by my HSA. But for the Oura Ring itself, I was able to pay with my HSA, which took off a huge chunk of money that I probably couldn't have afforded if I didn't have that HSA. So that was very helpful because the Oura Ring can be expensive. So just keep that in mind if you're interested in one. All right, the next few things should go a little bit faster, and they're things that I loved from my registry particularly. The first being my robot vacuum. So I put this on my registry, did not expect I would get it because it is a little bit of an expensive gift, but someone very graciously gifted us the iRobot vacuum, and I have loved it. It really helps us keep our floors clean. We can just set it, you can either set it on a schedule or you can just have it go off when you're gone. You can press, power on and it'll go and clean the floors. And it has really helped us stay on top of vacuuming. And especially with a cat that sheds, it is really important to stay on top of vacuuming, because my husband also has allergies. So we were trying to help, with his allergies, and this robot vacuum has helped so much. Another honorable mention from my wedding registry is these containers. Now, it's not actually the spaghetti in this container, but the container itself. So these are airtight sealing containers for the pantry, and I really love these. It helps your pantry look more organized, and it helps it look more cohesive and less junky, because sometimes our pantry can get a little bit chaotic. And I'm not perfect, my pantry's not perfect, but having those airtight containers really does help. So I'm very, very happy that I put those on my wedding registry, and I would highly suggest you put them on them if you're planning a wedding or building a registry, because I love it. Another thing I put on my registry, kind of in a similar vein, is these Tupperwares. Now these are the sealing Tupperware that has like the 4 seals on the side, and they're called the Snapware. And it's a glass container. I think you can also buy them that are plastic, but the reason I bought the glass ones is because I use these to heat up lunch at work. And I heat up my lunch in a microwave, and I just feel like the glass is a little bit better in the microwave than plastic. I'm not a huge granola person, but there are a few things I'm like, yeah, that probably makes sense. Let's, use glass more than plastic. So I really like these for that reason, and I actually ended up getting 2 on my wedding registry, even though I just registered for 1, and I'm so glad I got 2 because I used them both, all of them, so much, and honestly, I already run out of them. I could probably use 3, but I'm so, so glad I put these on my registry, and I love them. This is actually something my sister told me to put on there, and I'm so glad she did because I love it. Now, this is the holy grail, the best thing ever. I tore off the tag or the label because it just kind of fell off, but it is the Tyler Diva Wash. You can kind of see it says Tyler right there. Oh my gosh, this is a laundry detergent, and it is the best smelling laundry detergent ever. And I put it on my wedding registry, but I've actually been using Diva Wash for many years, so this is kind of my 2024 favorite, but also past 3 or 4 years favorite. Some people love the smell of this and some people hate it, but I absolutely love it, and my entire house smells of it. And people will ask me all the time, oh my gosh, like, what do you wash your clothes in? It smells so good. And the answer is Diva Wash. Now, one thing I will say, it smells so good, but it is very strong. So what I do, one, because it's expensive, is I actually dilute it with a little bit of Tide Free and Clear unscented detergent, and then I will mix it with the Diva Wash detergent, and that way I just get a little boost of the scent without the overwhelmingness of this scent, because sometimes it can get a lot. So I'll just do, a little dash of the Tyler Diva Wash. Now there are other scents besides the Tyler, but the Tyler is my favorite, so I don't get any other ones. I think they have a sampling where you can try all the different scents and see which one you like, but I love the Tyler. This I did get off my wedding registry, and I got some extra from my mom for Christmas as well. So I love it. I will always use it. I had to mention it in this video. Another thing for my registry that I'm so glad I registered for, but it also was a splurge that I didn't think I was gonna get, but then someone was so, so kind in gifting it to us, were these shams and this duvet cover from Pottery Barn. Now, they absolutely were a splurge, but one thing I feel very passionate about is having a comfy bed. You spend 8 hours or more or less, I guess, for some people, in your bed every single day. And so I think you should have something that's cozy and comfy and you feel nice and warm in there. And I live by believing and investing in good pieces that are quality that will last you a long time. So these shams, as long as we take care of them, should last us forever. The last thing I want to mention from our wedding registry that was definitely a favorite was our Berkey filter. And that was particularly a favorite because we have no water dispenser on our refrigerator at our apartment. So we needed some way to get filtered water that could hold a lot of water so we didn't have to fill it up all the time. And so that's why I love the Berkey. So here's a picture of the Berkey if you don't know what it looks like. I love it. It is, once again, a little bit more of an investment, but something that we're going to be using for many, many years. We use it every single day. It holds a lot of water and we don't have to fill it up a ton, and the water tastes fresh and clean. Even if we didn't get it from our registry, we probably would have bought it ourselves because it's something that we definitely needed because we didn't have that water filter on our fridge. All right, so that's it for our wedding registry favorites. And now I'm going to move on to just some other random things that I've loved in 2024. One of my goals for 2025 is to invest in very comfy pajamas. If you can't tell, I love comfy and cozy, given how much I love my duvet cover and shams for my bed. I love comfortable pajamas, and these Lake pajamas I got for Christmas. They are striped green and white. They're these long pants, and then this cutie little top. It has got a ruffle detail right here. They are so comfy, so cozy, so soft. I'm definitely gonna be buying more in the coming years because they are expensive, but they're something that I already wear almost every single night to sleep. I do wash them, but whenever they're not in the wash, I'm definitely wearing them, and I know I'll use them for so long. I'm definitely eyeing the Valentine's ones. I don't know if I'm going to spend money on them quite yet because I did just get a pair, but maybe another collection soon I will cave and buy another pair because I love them so much. Up next, we kind of have something fun and a little silly, but these Trader Joe's snacks have been a go-to in 2024. For road trips, just for a little something here and there, I need something sweet, these snacks. So these are the Scandinavian Swimmers. They're a gummy candy. They're like a sour gummy candy. They're addicting, so be careful. Some people like to keep them in their fridge or I think even in the freezer. I don't do that, but they like the cold chewiness of them, but they are so good. Just be careful if you try them. They're absolutely addicting, so take that with what you will. Decide if you want to buy them or not. And then these peanut butter cups, I love anything chocolate or peanut butter, so they're perfect and I love them. If I need something sweet or just like a little something to curb my sweet tooth at the end of the night, I'll grab a couple of these because I love them so, so much. All right, back to clothing related. So another favorite from 2024 was definitely these Abercrombie long sleeves. These are, I don't know exactly the name of them, but they're kind of just a basic that I love to wear around the house. And then also because I wear scrubs at work, if it gets cold, I'll wear them under my scrubs, but they're super soft and super cozy. So it goes with my theme of loving to be comfy and cozy. And so I'll throw these on when I get home from work, or I'll throw them on for work to keep warm. And they're really tight and they perfectly kind of hug you so that you feel nice and comforted without feeling too squeezed. Because some clothes just like squeezes me a little bit too much and I don't like that. And these have the perfect amount of like compression. I have it in a black and I also have it in a gray, and I would get in other colors too, but I just haven't. So I'm just sticking with the black and the gray. It's all I've really needed as of right now. So that's another thing that I've been loving. I mentioned this one. This is just like a small little thing. I mentioned this one in my last Get Ready With Me video, and it's the e.l.f. Brow Lift. I love this so much. I really don't know if I would find another product that gives me the same effect to my brows like this does. I have yet to find one, so I really do love this. I use it every day. I just use this with the spoolie, no other colors or anything like that. I don't fill in my eyebrows. I just like the way they are as they are. So that's just a quick mention for the brow lift. All right, another one. So this one is a little bit more of a sad story, but my grandfather passed away at the end of 2023. Throughout 2024, my family was going through some of his stuff to pass down through the generations or decide what needs to be sold, or, you know, whatever it is. And so there was, after all of my dad, it's my dad's dad. So after my dad and his brothers went through the stuff and picked the things they wanted, they allowed all the grandchildren to come in and pick a few things that would remind us of both my grandparents, since my grandmother had already passed away. So I went in and I picked out this cute little china set. And I think it was in 2024 that I picked this out. It could have been in 2023, but it's something that I've been using in 2024 that I didn't use in 2023 because I didn't have a place for it. But now that I've got a place and got an apartment or a townhouse with my husband, we have these displayed on our china cabinet. So it's coming in handy to have this tea set to have displayed, and it is a little reminder of my grandfather in our house. We don't necessarily use it a lot for tea or anything, but if I ever wanted to throw like a cutesy girly tea party, I would pull these out for that reason. Otherwise, I really do love it just for the display purposes and to remind me of my grandfather. All right, next up is this book. Not necessarily this book. I actually haven't read this book, but collecting these Penguin classics. This one is the Sense and Sensibility. I've been loving collecting them. This is my first of the collection, but I have a Barnes & Noble gift card to collect more, and I want to, one, read more classics, and two, collect more classics. So that's something I've been loving to do in 2024. I started to love to do in 2024, and then I take into 2025. So that's just a quick one as well. This is Sense and Sensibility. I'm planning on reading it soon. I haven't started. It was a birthday gift from Sam. Since he bought me technically the cat for my birthday, he just got me something little for the actual day of my birthday, and so he got me this book, and I'm really excited to continue to build that collection together because he has a few books he wants to get as well. Obviously the lighting has changed a little bit. The sun is going down, so I turned on a few lamps to try to brighten up the room a little bit. So sorry the lighting has changed just a little bit. I have a few other favorites and then we'll wrap up today's video. So this is something that Sam's mom actually bought for Sam and I for Christmas, and it was something that neither of us put on our Christmas list or would have even thought of, but it was such a unique and fun idea, so I had to throw it in here. It is the Scrabble vintage board game. So it's just like a normal Scrabble game, but it's a vintage version and it's a bookshelf version, meaning you can take it out of its sleeve and it kind of looks like a book, and it's got this neutral tone, and so you can put it on a bookshelf as a display, and I think it's really cute. And we haven't actually played it yet, but the inside is just the Scrabble game, but it's more of the vintage look than a more modern Scrabble. And me and Sam love to play games, so we're very excited to pull this out. And I thought it was just such a fun idea to give for a gift and something I didn't expect to love so much, but I've loved having these as a display on our bookshelf. So definitely a favorite of Christmas 2024. Another in-person favorite, because the rest I don't have with me, is this heated blanket. So I got this heated blanket for Christmas from Sam's parents. And I got it because I get really cold in the winter, and even though Virginia winter where we live is not that much different than Alabama winter, it's a few degrees colder, and I feel like it's made a lot of difference. Slash, our townhouse's downstairs level gets very cold, and our upstairs level keeps heat better because heat rises. So I'm really cold when I'm downstairs. I got this heated blanket to keep on the couch downstairs, and it's a lifesaver. It's literally so cozy and warm, and I love it so, so much. Hey, Albus. Albus. No, you can't do that. But it goes with my theme of loving all cozy, warm things. And I think it's because it's winter right now that those are all coming to mind of things I love. I'm sure if I did this in the summer, it would be different things. But this heated blanket has literally been so, so great to have. It's kept me warm and it's been so cozy, and I love it. All right, the few other things I have that are not with me but I want to mention. Harry Potter. I mentioned this in my first video I made about how much Harry Potter has meant to me through this move and through 2024. I read all the books in 2024 and watched all the movies again, and I love Harry Potter so much, so I had to throw that in there. Love all the books. If you haven't read them, you definitely should. They bring me so much coziness and comfort and peace, and I love them so much. I'm all about cozy vibes, as you can tell. The second to last thing I want to mention, the Bible recap. So I have a mission to try to read the Bible in a year or a little bit over a year. And there is this tool that someone in my small group told me about called the Bible recap. And it's basically goes through the Bible in a year, and then it has a host that'll kind of talk you through what exactly you read. So it'll give you a couple of chapters to read, and then she'll talk you through what it means, what you can get from it, and it's been so, so helpful. So I've really loved that tool. If you're interested in reading the Bible, even if it's not in a year, if you have to take off a few days, that's okay. It's kind of what I'm doing. I would highly suggest it. Love it. Bible recap. And then the last thing I had to mention was Vlogmas that Zoe and Alfie did, and their Vlogust. So they did both Vlogmas and Vlogust this year, and honestly inspired me to want to start my own YouTube channel. So I had to throw it in here because it literally is the reason I'm doing this right now. And the reason I'm doing a favorites video is because of Zoe. So had to throw them in there. That was the last thing I can think of. I had a lot of things that I wanted to talk about, but it would be an hour-long video. And I just don't think we would have time for that. So I wanted to end it here. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe. If you made it all the way through, you are definitely a trooper. I really enjoyed making this, so thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to me ramble about all my favorite things. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Albus, are you playing the piano? Come here. He's not gonna want to get off now.